So in today's session, we'll go through few points to understand primarily what is a cloud and the different options. Okay, so this is the agenda for today's session. We'll talk about what is the meaning of fusion applications and cloud computing, difference between on-premise and cloud, different cloud options for customers, and exactly on what option will be working as a consultant and what makes difference between those different options. And I highlighted few points as a new in the fusion applications, but once we get into the actual classes, you'll come to know everything. And I'll take you through the course curriculum. What exactly we are covering, which modules from each module, what are the concepts, almost all concepts we are going to cover, and those we'll discuss. And when you have a plan of doing this course, you have two options. If you have a EBS background or knowledge, and if you want to complete this course on fast track, we have a recorded class videos. So those class videos we extracted from the live classes. So what are the live classes we are running from those batches we extracted? When you go through those videos, you can come across all the discussions from the participants, questions and answers, everything you can find more interactive. That sort of videos we have. If you want to complete this course as soon as possible, you can subscribe those videos, you can start playing, and other side will provide you the instance access, and you can practice. And if you have any questions, I would be available. We can connect and discuss. If you subscribe the videos, you can attend the live classes also. I'll say you are going to attend live classes. When you're attending live classes, you can take previous batch recorded videos. These options are available. So even if you are going to attend this current batch live classes, if you want previous batch recorded videos, we will provide, as well as we'll give the instance access also, so that instead of waiting to complete this entire course duration of 2 months or more than 2 months, you can start playing the videos and you can start practicing. And again, you can attend the live classes, so that if you have any questions, it would be easy for you to ask and to get clarified. Okay, the simple point is we have two options. One is you can attend online classes. When you attend online classes, you'll get the current batch videos, and still if you want previous batch videos also will provide, or else you can subscribe the recorded videos and you can attend live classes, maybe current batch or next batch or later batches. So these are the two options we have. Done. So let's talk about what is the meaning of fusion applications. Before we talk about the fusion applications, when you look at the Oracle journey, as we know, Oracle started as a database company. Okay, Oracle initially they just came into the market as a database company. After that, they got good response from the market as a database company. They just planned and they started applications also. So 11i is very famous in the market in the past. Of course, prior to that, there are a few other versions also they implemented, and they are not much into the market. But 11i was very famous in the past, I could say, up to 2010, and later still few clients are using who are premium clients for Oracle. Still Oracle is supporting for them. So when they came up with the applications, they started with only one application, that is general accounting. Now that application is general ledger. After that, they developed many applications. After that, they released a few more applications. They did some enhancements, they introduced some new features. That's how they released 12 version. E-business suite released 12. First database, then 11i version, then release 12. Now we could see in the market fusion applications, or say fusion cloud applications. We'll discuss and understand what is the difference between fusion applications and fusion cloud applications also. Now you can call it as fusion or fusion cloud applications. Anyway, we are going to see what is the difference between those two. So when you talk about fusion applications, how they build. So database is their own product, 11i applications are their own products, and EBS or e-business suite, R12 version also their own products. But when it comes to Fusion applications, what is the background of these Fusion applications? We'll see that. Say we have these different ERP products in the market. So JD Edwards is one of the ERP, in the same way PeopleSoft, Siebel, and our Oracle e-business suite. These all are ERP applications. And we have Hyperion product, which is very famous for planning, budgeting, and reporting solution, and Primavera project portfolio management. These are the different tools or enterprise applications, and these are the few ERP applications. There are many ERP applications. We don't need application names or ERP names to understand what is the meaning of Fusion application. So I taken two for example for our discussion. So when you look at JD Advanced, there are many solutions are available. Here we have SCM applications and finance applications, project management and manufacturing application from PeopleSoft. Also there are many solutions PeopleSoft is offering. That's how you could see Siebel, CRM solution, ERM, EPRM, and when you talk about Oracle, we have SCM, finance, CRM, projects, etc. Hyperion is offering these solutions. Fine. So different ERPs are offering the different solutions. But so when you look at which are very specialized or which are very famous from the different ERP products, if you take example of JD Edwards, say supply chain is very famous. If you take example of PeopleSoft, HCM, human capital management, is very famous. If you talk about Siebel, Siebel is offering the best solution for CRM. And when I talk about Oracle e-business suite, it's a very famous solution is financials, financial management. Hyperion is famous for everything, whatever we included here. But the reporting, when I talk about reporting, it's a very famous in the market. Primavera is very famous for project portfolio management. So if I want to take CRM solution from Oracle e-business suite, that is not great when you compare with Siebel CRM. And if you want to use HCM solution, if I need as an organization, if you want to implement HCM solution in Oracle e-business suite, also we have HRMS solution. But if you compare HRMS with PeopleSoft HCM, the PeopleSoft HCM solution is very famous. So that's how if you look at any ERP, the ERPs, almost all the ERPs are offering the many solutions, but those are not very much famous in that respective areas. So SCM is good from JD Edwards, but compared to EBS or other applications, these are not good. From SCM is good from JD Edwards, but HCM is good from PeopleSoft, not from Siebel or EBS. And Siebel CRM is good from CRM is good from Siebel, not from PeopleSoft or Oracle e-business suite. That's how specific areas of solutions are very much specialized in, from the different products are very much famous. So this is the current market which you can see. Now if any client wants to implement ERP, which is the best ERP, which ERP they have to choose. Say for example, there is one client who is looking for these areas of solution. They need SCM, they need HCM, they need CRM, they need financial management. So if you look at the previous slide here, which ERP they have to pick? Fine. Here they need SCM. For SCM, say JD Edwards is fine. But when it comes to HCM, for HCM, PeopleSoft is good. Now if they want to have a best solutions for SCM and HCM, they have to go with these two ERPs. They have to pick SCM from JD Edwards, and HCM they have to pick from PeopleSoft. And what about CRM? CRM they have to pick from Siebel. And what about financial management? The financial management good from the Oracle e-business suite. They have to pick financials from Oracle e-business suite. So it would be very much challenging to pick the different products from the different vendors and integrating and managing those integrations, getting the technical team. It will become a big challenge, and they have to invest a lot because they have to take the license from the different vendors. So in this case, how to choose the best ERP for any organization? If this is a requirement for one client, So these areas are specialized from the different ERP products, but there is no one ERP which can give the best solution for these all areas of their any company business process to manage within the system. So what Oracle did is, Oracle acquired most of the ERP products which are there in the market. So what Oracle did is, Oracle acquired JD Edwards. They purchased the JD Edwards product. In the same way, they acquired PeopleSoft, they acquired Siebel, they acquired Primavera, they acquired Hyperion. Not only these, I just listed few. There are many other ERP products and enterprise applications Oracle acquired. After acquiring, what they did is, from JD Edwards, say they taken the SCM related and other areas of best solutions. From PeopleSoft, they taken the HCM solution. From Siebel, they taken CRM solution. From Oracle E-Business Suite, their own product, they taken financial applications. From Primavera, they taken project related solutions. From Hyperion, they taken planning, budgeting, and reporting, HFR reporting, and other areas of solution. So from the different ERP products and the different enterprise applications, what are famous solutions are available across those products they selected, and by selecting all those applications they build. Okay, they didn't build from the scratch. The ready-made solutions which are available from the different ERP products they taken and they integrated all those applications and they built applications called as fusion applications. This is the meaning of fusion application. That means from the different ERP products and enterprise applications, they taken the best solutions and they built product called as fusion applications. So this is how we have a fusion applications now. When you are using the fusion applications, you don't see any titles of JD Edwards, PeopleSoft, Siebel, Primavera or Hyperion related naming conventions within the fusion applications. So before they just taking into this fusion application, yes, those are the actual names. But after taking into fusion applications, everything you can find as a fusion applications. You don't say PeopleSoft, HCM or Siebel, CRM, you don't see like that. Everything is fusion. Okay, fusion finance, fusion SCM, fusion procurement, fusion HCM, fusion CRM. This is how you can find within the fusion applications. So here, any questions from anyone, please? So this is how they built fusion applications. Okay, they didn't build this fusion application from the scratch. They taken the best solution from the different products. That's how they came up with the fusion applications. Any questions here, please? Fine, no questions. We'll move to next slide. The next.
So when was it first, when was it first released to the market, and when it got stabilized?
Okay, the clients started using these fusion applications from 2016. Okay, and
Okay.
16 at the time, the clients which they started using the version is release 7. And from 9-10 onwards product is stabilized. Now the current version is release 13.
Okay.
Yep. So you can say from 10 onwards many clients started using, and the release 7 and 8 with half of the cost Oracle started giving for the clients where they can start using, so easily they can identify the issues with the product. Okay, so with that plan, they given at a less price the subscription they given for many clients, but 10 onwards you could see very much stabilized product. Now 13, so whatever missing in the 10, 11, 12 also, those you could see in the current version which is release 13. And anyway, those points also I'll be covering. So the how the version looks like and how you can find within the instance also what exactly we are calling the version or release, what is the difference between those two also we'll discuss. The next point,
Like, I have a question here very quick.
please.
So now we release 13, I was working as a tester for almost 1 year. So they had a 17. I forgot. Then they moved to 18C. So
No.
what is this version?
Those points only I said I will explain. Okay.
Okay.
Those what they are doing is there is a release series, there is a version, there is a release within that. The sub information is those are the patch applications. Those are the 3 points which you have to understand. I'll be covering that. If okay,
Sure.
maybe in the tomorrow session we'll touch those points.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll be showing an instance also. Whatever we are going to discuss, how we have to understand whatever you mentioned. The same way, there are many people who are working. They used to say, "Oh no, I'm working on 11 version. You are telling 13." These sort of questions I used to come across. Okay, so that's the reason. Just we'll discuss those points in the next tomorrow session so that it would be easy, and I'll be showing an instance also.
Sure.
Yeah. Fine. So the next point we have to understand is cloud computing. What is the meaning of cloud computing? So when you talk about cloud computing, it's all about maintaining the servers and making those servers available for the clients as internet as a source. Okay, internet as a source. Here I have a detailed examples also. Let me walk those slides. See here, there is a concept called as virtualization. If any cloud computing company, what they do is they have to go with a virtualization to facilitate the server's access for their clients. Now we can say Oracle is one of the big cloud vendor in the market. The reason Oracle acquired cloud technology is also in the market. Okay, so however, whatever we discussed, Oracle acquired ERP products and other enterprise products. In the same way, the cloud technology also they acquired from other vendors. Now Oracle became one of the big cloud vendor in the market, along with AWS, IBM, Google. These are cloud vendors in the market. Along with these cloud vendors, Oracle also one of the big cloud vendor. So you take any cloud vendor, what logic they follow, how that cloud computing works, how that is benefit for the customers who are using. If you look at those points here, first we have to understand about virtualization concept. What cloud computing companies do is they'll use big servers, the physical server. Here we have a physical server. These are like big missions. By using the big servers or say big missions, by using the concept called as virtualization, they can create the virtual servers. These all are virtual servers. By using one big mission or big server, they can create the. When you talk about physical servers we can reside in the specific location. You can place that server in India or US or some other country. In some physical locations we can place. But instead of going with the physical servers concept in cloud computing, what they do is by using the physical servers, they'll create the virtual servers. These are the virtual servers. The physical servers we can locate in the specific location, the physical location. But when it comes to virtual servers can be managed within the internet. So physical servers we can place in the specific physical locations, but virtual servers we can place in the virtual location. The virtual location is internet. They'll create the virtual servers by using the physical servers. They'll make these virtual servers to be available internet as a source. Okay. So when you look at the architecture of that virtual server, it's the same as a physical server. There will be infrastructure and operating system. Within that, they'll maintain the applications. If you buy one laptop or desktop, yes, you'll have infrastructure. To use that computer or let's say laptop or desktop, you have to install the operating system within that so that you can install the applications within that you can use. The similar architecture they use for the virtual servers also. When they are creating the virtual servers by using the physical servers, the same architecture they follows. And here this is a physical server, these are the virtual servers. In cloud in the sense, internet as a source. Okay, internet as a source, they'll keep in the internet. Now let's take simple example. there is one client called as A. They want to use Fusion applications or any applications through cloud computing. Okay, they want to use any application through cloud computing. Let's take our Oracle Fusion application. Say we have a client called as A. They want to use Oracle Fusion applications. When they want to use Oracle Fusion application, they have two options. Any client has two options. One is they can buy the physical server, they can get the DBA, they can take the product license from Oracle. That product can be installed in the physical server. They have to place that physical server in the specific location. Then they'll establish the network connectivity and all. Then users will start accessing that server, maybe from the same country, from different locations or from the different countries. If you take example of accessing the server from the different countries, say you place server in the US and the users are accessing from US, India and UK and from different countries. In that case, there will be a lot of network to that server, and if user from India is trying to connect to that physical server to perform certain operations, the request need to be submitted from India to US, since server is located in US, and server has to respond. For this, everything system would take time. So instead of going with this approach in cloud computing, what cloud computing company do is, by using the virtual server, they'll create the physical server. The physical servers they'll keep available in the data centers. Yeah, please. Hello. Yeah, please go ahead.
Lakshman, I have a question.
Yeah.
Are you showing the videos or this is the live classes you are doing? Because I see so many voices I'm hearing here in this place.
One second. It's a live session. I'm speaking, right? I'm responding to you. Okay, these points we'll discuss after some time, please. How come I can show the recorded video? I'm speaking. This is I'm just running the slides. Okay, I'll clarify your doubts. Okay, not in between the session. Wait for some time. Fine. Okay. So this is a physical server. Okay, maybe the reason there are many participants are attending and sometimes somebody is not going on mute, you may come across with that sort of noise. But I'm just looking after all those issues. Nobody is unmuted. Everybody is on mute. I'm not getting any noise. Ideally, you should not get any noise. We are on the same meeting. Done.
Lakshman, for me it is pretty clear. I don't see any disturbance. Please go ahead.
Yes,
thank you.
That's true. Yeah, thank you. Fine. Thanks. So what cloud computing company does is, by using the physical servers, they'll create the virtual server. Say client A required they want to use Oracle applications. It could be finance or SCM or HCM, anything. Take example. So they want to use Fusion applications. In that case, what Oracle will do is, they will create one virtual server. They'll create one virtual server, they'll allot it. And now what they will do is, the client is from which country, they'll see. And the virtual server they'll keep available in that country data center. If they don't have data center in the specific country where the client is doing their business operations, they'll try to keep that virtual server to be available in the nearest data center. Say for example, the client is from India, and when the client is from India, what ideally Oracle will do is, they'll create one virtual server, they'll keep that virtual server available in the India data center. When India user is trying to connect to the server, so since the server is available in the India data center, when the India user will try to connect to that server, the response would be very fast. Otherwise, if India user is trying to connect to USA data center, the virtual server, it is little bit time taking compared to India data center, the virtual server which is available. So that's how what Oracle will do is, whenever user is, or else take example, the client is operating the business in these 3 countries, Australia, USA and India. Now that client is using the Oracle Fusion applications, and in that case what they'll do is, client is same but users from the different countries. So when any user is trying to connect to the instance would be same. When some X user is going to connect to the instance, through cloud computing technique, what they will do is, they'll try to identify the user is from which country. Once they identify user is from which country, they'll try to connect that user to that virtual server which is very close to the user location. They will connect. So that's how user will connect to the nearest data center virtual server. That's how the performance, the user experience would be rich compared to physical servers. So this is only the cloud computing technique cloud computing companies follows. It's all about keeping the same server, that is not physical server, virtual server, to be available in the nearest data centers for their clients. And here, take example. Here they have 3 data centers, but the client is having operations from these 3 countries. Then how it works? So virtual server is the one. Okay, they will put the synchronization with the 3 data centers. So if India user is trying to connect to this India data center virtual server, whatever the activities they do, whatever the transactions or anything they do, everything will be in the sync. Okay, everything will be sync in all these 3 data centers. What are the virtual servers they have? That is one. That replica only they'll create, but those all will be in the sync. So there won't be any data separation or server separation. So all will be in the sync. They are keeping the same virtual server available in the 3 different data centers. The reason is that should be very much accessible for the respective country users. And this everything you can access through internet. And what are the other advantages of cloud computing? If you go with virtual server, what are the advantages? Those also we are going to see. We have a separate slide for that. To understand these points, okay, how it works. Any questions from anyone, please?
Hey, Lakshman, there is one question.
Please.
For pitching a cloud kind of ERP, because I'm in a project where I need to, pitch customer for ERP, implementation process. So there is one point I'm actually struggling on for the data security, right? Since the cloud has a centralized database, and as you said, like they're a virtual database, data access.
Correct.
So whenever I talk about the data security, because the data security is one of the major point which every organization used to talk about.
Correct.
So at the time of pitching customers, so how would I convince customer that your data would be secure since it is a centralized database? And we are doing a clustering over here.
It's centralized, right? But it's a secured for each and every client. Okay. Centralized in the sense it's a centralized database for specific client. The one database for every client, they'll give the separate database only. They are not keeping centralized for multiple clients. And again, everything is more secured. Still, if you are looking at security, what you can do is you can go with private cloud. Oracle is offering the private cloud also. So we have public cloud, private cloud. Private cloud is more secured. But if you see in the market, there are few banks, the financial organizations also using public cloud. Because public cloud is more very easy accessible, the no security. Just if you have a username and password from any device which is connected to internet at any point of time from anywhere, you can simply connect. So that's how we have. So how you can connect to your Facebook or Gmail or etc. That's how you can connect to instance from any device.
Okay. Second thing, there is suppose for any kind of a bug on any solution. Suppose you are doing something and you need to require some patch.
Yes.
Application of patch. So earlier in EBS, I mean,
I
the
got
client.
your question, Rahul. I got your question. So what we'll do, definitely I'll take your questions, but now this may not be right time. You may ask this sort of questions after some time. Since you asked, I'll answer now itself, because let's proceed with the relevant questions based on what point we are targeting. Yeah, I'll take your question, no issues. See, for that in cloud, again it depends. If you are using the cloud, the any sort of DBA work, Oracle will help us. When you are using the cloud, we cannot have our own DBAs to help us to patch applications or any sort of DBA related activities. DBA support will be provided by Oracle. Say you are working on the application, you got some issue and you analyzed or you raised SR to Oracle, finally it's identified as a bug. Now patch need to be applied. Who can apply? You have to talk to Oracle. From Oracle side, the DBA team will respond to help you on the patch application process. So this is how it works. Yeah, you can just ask me the questions maybe in the end of the session. Now to understand this point, the cloud, how it works, what cloud computing does, and how that virtual server will be facilitated for clients for user access. On this, any question please, based on the slide or based on the point, let's focus.
Lakshman, these data centers all are of Oracle or are those of the client?
Oracle
only.
yes.
Okay.
When you talk about cloud, client no need to maintain any data centers, no server infrastructure is required, no technical team is required to work on that network, etc. Everything will be taken care by Oracle. They are providing the virtual server. Just as a client, we have to pay, we have to take the subscription. The subscription would be based on number of users and number of applications, and for certain period will pay. Then you can access the instance and you can implement and you can start using. That's how it works. No data centers need to be maintained by the client. No infrastructure need to be purchased by client. It's subscribe and use. That's it.
So Lakshman, one more question here is,
Please.
I heard something called multi-tenant and single tenant.
Yes.
Is it anywhere related here? Like, if it is not related to this slide, we can talk later, but
Yeah.
can we?
See, multi-tenant in the sense, the environment, okay, the server, they'll keep as a separate virtual servers. In the public cloud, they'll go with the multi-tenant option. In case of single tenant, it's a private cloud. In public cloud, they'll go with the multi-tenant, but tenant-wise, the security would be there, data segregation and everything would be separated. But that is the environment which can be allotted for different clients by creating the different virtual environments within that. That is a multi-tenant. The single tenant means just you can go with the private cloud where they'll maintain separate environment, which is a dedicated environment for one client.
So is Oracle Cloud single tenant or multi-tenant?
Both they have.
Both.
In case of public, multi. In private, single.
Okay, so does multi-tenant mean that, like, suppose there are two organizations which requested Oracle subscription or license, there will be a single database where they'll store ABC Corporation's data and XYZ Corporation's data.
No.
Is that kind of thing?
No. The environment would be same, but the client-wise segregation would be there. The data segregation and everything. So
totally a different database for ABC and.
Yes. They'll maintain separately.
Okay.
Virtually they'll maintain separately. So there won't be any risk even if they go with a multi-tenant. Now most of the clients which they are using, they are going with a public cloud. That means multi-tenant only. But when you are using, you won't come to know also. Okay, because everything is segregated. Nowhere you will come to know this is a kind of a public cloud, and some other organizations also using, because they'll segregate and they'll give. Okay.
Yeah, but for people working in Oracle, won't they know the data of all the companies?
Definitely they'll come to know, because it's everything in their control, right?
Okay.
Everything in their control. Yeah, that's true. Take any cloud
Contained
solution.
in that case.
That's it. If you take AWS, or if you take anything else, so definitely, because they are managing everything, right? The applications and everything they are managing, everything will be in their control. Yes.
Only thing I'm concerned about is how is security maintained in that case? Like suppose an Oracle person who is working in Oracle company, he can pick the data of my organization and some other organization and he can compare and give the results to someone else, third party, right?
Yes, yes, yes. That is possible in the normal projects also, right? Of course.
Oh my God. Okay.
That's true. That's true. Agree.
Lakshman, so here one question related to that. It's if it is a private cloud, will it make more secure in that case
Even
rather than public?
they have a very good security metrics for public cloud also, but who is more concerned about security, data security, and all? Oracle have that option. If you take example, there are many banks which started using the public cloud. Okay, they are using the financial applications for their operations. For that, they are choosing the public cloud. It's a more secured that Oracle is taking care. So that is the reason even most of the clients are going with this public cloud. Again, private little bit more expensive. So there are many other considerations. So the public is lesser cost and more secure, no doubt in that. Okay, that's all we have. Right. So this is how it works. Okay. So ultimately, user experience would be very rich. That's what we need. So yes, as we discussed that since it's a cloud computing, and again when you talk about our Oracle applications in EBS, we have a forms and all. Most of the functionality they build with the forms, and a few functions they build with a web application. But when you talk about Fusion applications, all the functionalities they build with web applications. So it could be GL or APR and everything. It runs with ADF pages. So there is no forms concept. Since everything they converted into ADF pages or say web pages, so you can access the application from any device which is connected with the internet. From your smartphone, you can access whatever the instance I'll be sharing with you, that you can connect from your smartphone. You can log in and all. Same as EBS, like you don't need to install any J plugins, etc. Not required. From any device, you can connect to the instance and you can work if you have a internet connectivity with that device. That's how we have. Now here I taken the simple example as a client requirement. Say one client requires some storage space. Okay, storage space they require. Say for example, I have a laptop. Within that laptop, I need 1 GB space, one TB space, 1 terabyte space, but in my laptop I have 200 GB. Now I need this 1 TB GB. What I have to do? I don't want to buy any, hard disk to store some data. Instead of buying, what I can do? What are the options are available in the market? Simply, what I can do is I can just talk to AWS, Amazon Web Services. There I can buy the space, and what are the files I want to store in my laptop, those I can place in the space which is provided by AWS. That is we call as storage space. Simply we can store the application, store the any data within the space which is provided by AWS. In the same way, any cloud computing company can provide storage space. Okay, just they'll provide the storage space. Say that is a one client requirement. One client requirement is they need storage space to store some data or some anything, any information. So that I'm taking as a one requirement. The other client requirement is they're not bothering about storage space. They need application access. Sorry. What they want to do is they don't want to buy any server. Let server managed by some cloud computing company. So by using that server, they want to have access to the applications. Again, they don't want to take the license for the application, they don't want to install. Simply, we want to use the applications. Take example, WhatsApp. You are using the WhatsApp. For that, the servers and the WhatsApp application is managed by the respective company, but as a user we are using, just we are accessing. In the same way, if any company wants to use Oracle Fusion applications, and if they don't want to maintain server and still they want to have application access, it works. We'll discuss and understand. So one company requires storage space. Within that storage space, what they want to store, that is up to them. And other company requirement is they need application access. They don't want to maintain the server. They need access to specific application only. They want to use the applications. They want to pay. And other client requirement is they need applications access. When they are accessing the applications, they want to customize. They want to customize. Take example of the Facebook or WhatsApp. Yes, those we can access. Those we can access. So free or paid base, whatever it may be, we can access those applications. Both are applications. We are using, say when you are using those applications, if you want to customize, you cannot customize. WhatsApp, if you want to customize, no. If you want to change some settings, you can do that. The same way, the Facebook application also, if you are using, you can change some settings, but you cannot build some new functionality. That could be WhatsApp or Facebook. As a user, we cannot do. But the company can do it. If they want to introduce some new functionality, they can do it. In the same way, if some company is going to use Oracle applications, if they want to customize, there should be some flexibility. So this takes different requirements. One client requirement is they need storage space only. When you talk about storage space, we don't talk about any applications, just storage space. Within that storage space, they can place the files, or they may install some applications. It could be any application. So in that case, we don't need to worry about which application, how it works, just storage space. Other client requirement is, say they need access to Fusion applications. They don't want to maintain the server. Let server need to be maintained by some different vendor, and let applications also managed by someone else, but just they want to use the applications. Fusion application access only they need. And when they need the access, they don't want any flexibility of doing the application customization, just access only. The third client requirement is they need access to application, if at all, if they want to do some customization. Say they want to build some new functionality. In that case, they need flexibility. So if we take these three different requirements, to fulfill these three requirements, every cloud computing company has a solution. Okay, the solutions we call with these names. So IaaS, infrastructure as a service. With this subscription, any client can get storage space. Okay, so if any client needs storage space, what they do is they have to go with IaaS subscription, infrastructure as a service. So there, what they will do is they'll get the storage space. They can choose which infrastructure, what is the capacity, and everything they can choose. I have others next slide. There I mentioned those points also. Okay, so IaaS, the IaaS infrastructure as service, then they can go with the storage space, no applications, nothing. What are the applications they want to install in that, they can do that. But by default, we'll get storage space. The other client requirement is application access. Say one company wants to implement Fusion applications. They don't want to buy the server. They don't want to take the license to the application. Simply they want to subscribe. They want to pay something. They want to use it. So in that case, they have to go with a subscription called as SaaS. SaaS stands for Software as a Service, SaaS. So they can, if they can subscribe the Fusion applications, the SaaS option, they can get Fusion applications access, they can implement and they can use. But as per their business requirement, if they want to do some customizations, the SaaS doesn't support. SaaS will support to use the standard product as it is, how it is available from Oracle. The SaaS subscription, they can access the application, they can configure, they can start using that application, but they want to do the customization they cannot do in case of SaaS subscription. In that case, if they have a requirement of doing the customization, they have to go with a PaaS subscription. PaaS stands for Platform as a Service. That means Oracle will provide the platform which allows them to develop some new functionalities, which allows them to do the customizations, and the same can be deployed with the help of the platform that we call as a PaaS. So these are the 3 subscriptions you can find out with any cloud computing company. Only storage space, or only applications to use as it is, or applications access to do the customizations also, means they can build the extensions to the existing standard application, or else altogether they can build some new application also. So these are the 3 subscriptions are available from any cloud computing company. It could be IBM or Google or Amazon Web Service, AWS or Oracle. So these are the basic
Lakshman,
are available. Yeah, please.
let's suppose if I'm going for a SaaS service, and then I will be given an instance and a test instance, right? If I have some cloning requirement, like for some troubleshooting or anything, and if I have to request for clone, how would that happen in SaaS? I mean, can the client control the cloning? They can request for cloning, or is it like a regular scheduled?
So I mentioned that point. When you talk about cloning, there is a DBA activity. So the DBA part will be taken care by Oracle only. Cloud DBA team would be available from Oracle. So any DBA work, we have to request Oracle by raising the SR, then they'll do behalf of us. Okay, you have to raise SR to Oracle, however you raise SR in case of DBS, in the same way you can raise SR, then they'll be just assigning to the respective team. So they will come into the picture and they'll do the cloning on our request. It could be SAS or PaaS, anything. It could be any environment. DBA work will be handled by Oracle team only. Oracle DBA team.
Okay, but there's no scheduled cloning, which like regular scheduled cloning, which will happen, right? It will only happen on our request
That's
to Oracle.
no regular, no scheduled clonings Oracle will do. No, if it is required, we can request, they'll do it. That's all. Even anything, any DBA work, it could be some cloning or some patch applications. So we have to request and they'll do it.
So Lakshman,
Yeah.
So SaaS environment, basically it is always a production environment, or there will be a development, a stage where we try our setups and all that, and then we progress them to production.
Yeah, I got you. I got your question. See, it could SaaS or PaaS, it's all about client subscription. So you are a company and you want to use Oracle Fusion application, and you have to take the decision. Generally, if you want to use Fusion applications and all, you won't choose IaaS, because in IaaS nothing, no applications you can find. So definitely you won't choose IaaS. You will be choosing SaaS or PaaS, because within the SaaS or PaaS only you can have a applications. If you want to implement Fusion applications, you can get Fusion applications access through SaaS option or PaaS option. So your requirement is you don't want to do the customizations. In that case, definitely you will be selecting the SaaS. You selected SaaS. When you select the SaaS subscription, by default, Oracle will provide 2 instances. Oracle will provide 2 instances. Those one you can use as a test instance, other one you will be using as a production instance. So the test or production, your subscription is SaaS. Those 2 instances also SaaS instances only you will be getting. That means you cannot do customizations within those instances. Again, when you talk about customizations, what here we are treating as a customization. In SaaS environment, you can do the reports customization, because reports customization doesn't impact any functionality. It's all about data, how you want to see. So in SaaS environment, if you have a SaaS customer, I mean to say SaaS client, you can do the report customizations and you can build the third-party integrations. It could be inbound interface or outbound interface. You can build in case of SaaS. Only what you cannot do in the SaaS environment is you cannot build some new functionality. You cannot create ADF pages in case of SaaS. If you want to build ADF pages, you have to go with the pass. The pass, the additional what you get is the development option you will get, where you can develop the new pages or new module and you can deploy. And when it comes to the benefits, if you are a SaaS client, you cannot do the customizations. The big advantage is whenever Oracle will comes with a new release, your environment will get upgraded to latest version. Just you have to inform them. You have to rise SR. If you inform today, by tomorrow your environment would be with the latest release. If you are using the pass, since you are doing the customizations, whatever the approach we follow in case of EBS to upgrade from one version to older version to latest version, the same approach you have to follow, because you have a customization that you have to manage by your team. In case of SaaS, no customizations. The client using the standard product. So Oracle will take the initiative of upgrading from the current version to latest version, since nothing will get disturbed, since no customizations are exist within the SaaS environment. So since SaaS allows auto upgrades, okay, it allows auto upgrades. The most of the clients who are using the Fusion applications, they are using the SaaS application only. You could say more than 95% of the clients are using SaaS. The remaining 4 to 5% clients are using the PaaS. Which clients are going with the PaaS subscription? Which are large clients. Okay, small and mid-sized clients are going with the SaaS only. The very big clients whose process demands customizations, whose process is complex, in that case definitely we have to do the customization, process customization, function customizations. So those clients only going with the PaaS subscription. Otherwise, most of the clients are SaaS clients only for Oracle, not only for Oracle, for many cloud computing companies. So this is the point we have to understand.
And
one more slide. One second. Let me take you through one more slide. Still, if you have any questions, we'll discuss. One more slide. Just I'll walk through one more slide. I think one more we have. I'll take you through. Then, if you have any questions, we'll discuss, so that you'll get some other details also, which you're expecting to know. So here, these are the three subscriptions: SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. In case of IaaS, what we will get only hosting service. So what applications you want to install, what operating system you want to install, and what applications you want to use by using that IaaS subscription, that is up to the client only. And in case of SaaS, consume. If you are a SaaS client, whatever the applications you are getting from that cloud vendor, those you can use. Everything, the servers, the operating system, and the applications, everything will be managed by the cloud computing company. You cannot have any control to manage anything, or it could be operating system or application. So they will provide the access to the application. You configure as per your requirement and use it. Any sort of technical DBA work, they'll be helping. And when you talk about PaaS, the additional advantage is you can build. Okay, they'll give the platform which allows you to build the additional functionalities or additional applications, and here you will have a control on that application. The servers and operating system, everything will be controlled and managed. Everything will be managed by Oracle only, but you'll get additional privileges to manage the applications. Here you cannot manage your application. The applications also will be managed by Oracle. You can just consume, you can use it, you can access and you can use, but the application maintenance and all, everything will be taken care by Oracle. But in case of PaaS, you'll get a flexibility of developing and managing the application, or else whatever Oracle is providing you can use as it is, or you can do some sort of extensions and or say enhancements. Everything you can do in case of this PaaS. Okay, so in IaaS only hosting. In PaaS, the applications, for which applications will get access, you can do some sort of customizations, or you can build some new applications or new functionalities. And in case of SaaS, you cannot do any modifications or you cannot build new functionality. You have to use as it is. The advantage is, in case of SaaS, the entire environment will be auto upgraded whenever Oracle comes up with a new release. But if you are a past customer, since you will be doing the changes, Oracle is not going to upgrade. What are the traditional process we follow in case of EBS to upgrade from older version to latest version? The same you have to follow in case of Fusion also. So, but DBA will be, you can take the DBA support from Oracle. The rest, everything just you do, you'll be just applying the patches. You'll request DBA to apply the patches in the test environment. You'll be testing once the environment will get upgraded to latest version. You'll be doing testing different scenarios, and once you identify everything is working fine, then you can ask the DBA to apply the patch on that. And what are the customizations you have in the older version, those can be invited by latest version or not. You have to see that feasibility, and those you have to take care, and any changes need to be done in the latest version. Those also you have to do it. These and all you have to take care. How we do in case of EBS in terms of upgradation process, the same is applicable, but DBA help you can take from Oracle. Rest is same, but in case of SaaS, you no need to do anything. So auto upgrade, so no customizations. When you say no customization, reports and all you can customize. Okay, there won't be an issue, but functional related, you don't see any customizations in case of SaaS. And here, okay, so sorry. Yep. So now, any questions based on this previous slide or the points whatever we discussed?
So,
Lakshman, I had a question regarding
SAS
this.
to Pass.
Yeah, please.
Upgrading from SAS to Pass should be a seamless process.
Yeah, SAS to Pass anytime. Yes, you can upgrade.
The other way,
the point is, Oracle will give you the provision to build some new functionality. That's it.
No, but the customer starts with SAS and later on decides to go with Pass.
They can do that,
right?
If they want, yes.
They can do that.
That is possible.
Okay.
And direct upgrade from EBS to Fusion is not possible, right?
Not possible. If you have a EBS client who are interested to go with the Fusion, you have to do the re-implementation. It's a simple, easy process, right? Only the consultant should know Fusion product, that's all. So in EBS, what Oracle it is, whatever they have a EBS solution, the same they taken into Fusion, especially for finance. Finance solution they taken as it is. They did very few enhancements. Once you go through these classes, you can understand those. So as it is, they taken EBS solution into Fusion for finance. So that is the reason the finance consultant, EBS finance consultant, if they are going to do the re-implementation in Fusion, that is very easy for them. And the other points, so in EBS already already client is using, in the sense everything, the solution design, everything is done, they implemented, the client is using. The same you can move, the same solution you can move into this environment, but only any additional functionality they want to use in the Fusion, the client wants to use or not. And the integrations, how you did the integrations in EBS, the same how you have to manage in case of Fusion application by using the SOA, service oriented architecture, that you have to plan, and that should be taken care by technical consultant. And rest, the setups and all, however you did in EBS, the same way you'll be doing. The few setups, naming convention, they change the way how you do slightly different. Once these points are familiar with the consultant, then easily they can do the configuration, they can do the testing, they can present to the client. It would be easy. Say for example, you took 1 year time to do the finance implementation or your project implementation in EBS. If you are going to do the implementation, my example is already the solution is there in the EBS. Now the same client is moving to Fusion. So in that case, the entire project you can complete within 2 to 3 months also. Or else the client is using some third-party application, they want to move to Fusion applications. If the client is small or mid-size, you can complete in 6 months. Why earlier case is 3 months? Why this case is 6 months? The earlier case we take an example as Already the client is EBS client. EBS client is the product is same, but environments are different. That is EBS environment, this is a cloud environment, Fusion cloud environment. So almost the same solution we are going to do here. If your client is third-party application, you have to do the mapping, you have to design the solution. For that reason, it takes time. So that's how that drastically you can reduce the time frame also if you are going to implement the solutions in the Fusion applications. So this is the point. Any other questions, please?
So, Lakshman, my question is, if a client wants to go to cloud, if they're using EBS right now, like R12, and they want to go to cloud, they have to, sorry, if they have to go to Fusion, they have to use this IaaS or PaaS or SaaS, right? So they don't have an option to be on-prem?
IaaS they don't use. Okay. IaaS, when they go with IaaS, they don't find any application within that.
Right.
They'll go with the PaaS or SaaS based on their requirement. They don't have much customizations, then they go with the PaaS. In the current environment, in the EBS, they have many customization. All they want to run in the Fusion also, then definitely they'll go with the SaaS. IaaS clients won't go because it's only hosting. So once, if any client wants to look for IaaS, that means they are taking the hosting service. Once they take hosting, they can use for any purpose, not only for Oracle application. If say one client is interested to take IaaS hosting and they want to use Fusion applications, in that case what they want to do is they have to take the Fusion applications license and they have to get the DBA and they have to install those applications in the IaaS environment. Then they'll start using. The DBA part will be managed by client only. If it is SAS or PaaS, it will be managed by.
So it's as good. So it's as good as on-premise, right?
But it's as same as on-premise, but this is a cloud service.
Yeah.
Server. Yeah, that's what servers and applications will be managed by. Server part Oracle will manage, but applications you have to manage. In case of on-premise, server and applications we have to manage. In case of IaaS, servers will be managed by Oracle, but applications need to be applications, operating system, everything will be managed by us only.
So Lakshman, are the tables also changed? The backend tables also changed for various applications?
For finance applications, no changes. If you take example of HCM altogether new product. They taken from the PeopleSoft.
Yeah.
As per PeopleSoft, what are the tables we have as it is. In our EBS HRMS tables, you don't find here because the Fusion, the HCM solution, not from the EBS HRMS. So whatever the product they taken for the respective area of the solution, that product based tables only we have. When you talk about finance, a finance solution they taken from the EBS. So in EBS, say if you take example of accounts payables, what are the tables we have? AP invoices, all AP invoice lines or supply related, any, or say take example of GL journal related table. Okay, GLJ headers, lines, these and all. What are the tables you see in EBS? The same tables you can find since the product is same.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how we have. Any other questions?
Lakshman,
yeah.
I have one question. This is similar to what earlier question one of the guy has asked.
Yeah.
Like if I say like my client is having his own servers and he just want to implement R13 in his servers.
Yes.
Can this be possible?
Possible, because in here what they have to do is, however we are taking the license for EBS product, in the same way for Fusion they have to take. They have to take the license. Right. They have to get the DBA to install the Fusion applications. It will be similar to EBS on-premise. That's it. But product would be Fusion. And here itself we'll discuss one point which makes the difference. Say for example,
Lakshman, can we?
Yeah, please.
So to precisely, instead of these three options, actually we have four options. IaaS, SAS, PaaS, we have the fourth option as well. That is completely on prime on the customer side without the intervention of Oracle.
Yeah, in case of cloud, these are the three options. That is the fourth option from the client.
Yeah.
Okay, now we are talking about cloud computing, right? That is the reason I mentioned only these three. Within the cloud computing, what are the options we have?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. See here, the point is, say for example, you have Oracle Fusion applications from Oracle. Now you have two clients, client A, client B, or say customer. I think somebody is unmuted. You can hear some noise. Please go on mute. When you have questions, yes, definitely you have to unmute and you have to write your question. Once you're done with your question, or say after your question, once I start speaking, better you can go mute so that there won't be any background noise. Yeah, thank you. Fine. So this is the product, Oracle Fusion Applications. It could be finance or SCM or HCM, anything, doesn't matter, let it be. Just say we have a Fusion applications from Oracle. So we have two clients. The client A interest is they want to take SAS subscription or say Pass subscription. And client B is they want to go with on-premise. They want to buy the server, they want to install the product, and they want to use. So in this scenario, client A is going to use, okay, for client A, the Oracle is going to maintain the servers and they are going to manage the application, but just client A will be using with the SAS or Pass subscription. So in this case, client A and B both are going to use Oracle Fusion applications only. What is the difference? For client A, Oracle is going to manage everything, the servers, application, and they are provisioning the access through internet. Client B is going to take the license for Fusion applications. So that means everything will be managed by B only. So when A is going to use the Fusion applications, that we call as Oracle Fusion Cloud applications. Why we are calling as Fusion Cloud applications? The product is Oracle Fusion applications, but we are including term called as cloud. The reason is the servers are managed by Oracle. When you talk about servers, Oracle will create virtual server for any client. The applications and everything will be managed by Oracle, and through nearest data centers, they'll keep that virtual server to be available for their client. So with this approach, client is going to use that applications. That is the reason we are calling whatever the Fusion application the client is going to use. For that, you can use the term called as cloud. That means by using the cloud technology, client is using Fusion applications. When it comes to client B is going to take the license for Fusion applications. They are installing in their own server. They have their own DBA they are using. They are not accessing the Fusion application through cloud technology. It's on-premise. So in that case, that Fusion applications we call as Fusion applications only. So what is the difference between these two? In terms of product, no difference. In terms of privileges, the difference is there. Say this client A is using the SAS model or SAS subscription. In that case, there will be some limitations. So in the Oracle Fusion Cloud applications, if it is SaaS subscription, the client cannot do customization. But here, client B, the same product they installed in their own server, so they can do any sort of customizations. How we can play with the EBS product in case of on-premise, the same can be done by client B. If any client is going to use the product and the servers and everything from the Oracle, that you can call as cloud, otherwise don't include cloud here. So B also going to use from Oracle only. They don't have their own servers, their DBA team, etc. So here also you can include cloud. So whether we have to include cloud or not, it totally depends on the deployment model. Whether we are deploying the product in our own server or everything will be managed by Oracle. So based on this, you can call it as Oracle Fusion applications or Oracle Fusion Cloud applications. Any question here, please? And one more point. Say you have a client B. Sorry, client C you have. Client C, what is doing is he take an IaaS subscription. After taking an IaaS subscription, within IaaS subscription means hosting. It is equal to their own server. In that case, they have to take the license from Oracle. They have to get the DBA and they have to install in the server. So in that case, even if it is within the IaaS environment, if they are taking the license for Fusion application, they are installing this environment also you can call as cloud, because the IaaS service itself cloud, but this is not same as SAS or Pass. Okay, in case of SAS or Pass, they'll create the virtual servers and they'll keep available with the including the applications. But in case of IaaS, this is hosting only. Okay, but they'll keep that in the internet as a source, but the applications whatever the client is going to use and totally those will be different. Okay, and the DBAs and the product license, everything would be different. This also IaaS also will call as in IaaS whatever the application the client is going to use, that also falls under cloud only. But these are dedicated kind of application related cloud service, but this can be any applications. You may use Oracle. In this IaaS you can install 11 EBS R12 applications also instead of buying the server. So client can take IaaS from the Oracle and they can take the license for EBS R12 version. Those applications can be installed in the IaaS also, that you can treat as a cloud. So this is how you have a naming convention for Fusion applications and Fusion cloud applications. Any questions here, please? This is nothing. This is primarily the market. Any questions here to understand these points, please? Only based on deployment you have to take the decision whether you have to use cloud or not. Okay.
So Lakshman, could you explain the financial benefit going to SaaS or the on-premises?
Yes, the next slide will talk about the same.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Fine, I think no questions here. So here, the public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud you have. Okay. So when I talk about public cloud, what happens is off-site infrastructure. Okay, off-site infrastructure means we no need to manage the infrastructure. Being a client, when you are going to use the Fusion applications, you no need to maintain the infrastructure. And with third-party management, here third-party means Oracle will take care of. Okay, so Oracle will take care of. So no infrastructure we have to maintain, no server infrastructure we have to maintain, and you no need to manage the application. Everything will be managed by Oracle in case of public. If you talk about private, on-site infrastructure. Okay, on-site infrastructure means you can manage the infrastructure, and we have other option also. You can ask Oracle to manage the infrastructure what you purchase and you ask them to manage. Say, if you buy any infrastructure, you have to manage. Otherwise, you can buy the infrastructure and you can ask the Oracle to manage. That is one case, or else you may maintain the on-site infrastructure. You can maintain the, you can maintain the servers. Okay, or else you can buy the servers and you can ask Oracle to manage. Okay, instead of you will use Oracle owned servers. Okay, on-site infrastructure with your own management. You can buy the servers and you can just maintain those servers, or off-site private infrastructure. Okay, off-site private infrastructure means you can buy some infrastructure from Oracle that will be managed by third party, again Oracle only. Okay, these are the two. That means private, you are going to get something private that can be which you are managing, or you will ask someone to manage separately for them. And hybrid means combination of these two. Say for example, you are going to use 20 applications. For 10 applications, you want to maintain your own servers. For 10 applications, you want to use Oracle infrastructure, the servers and all. both the two you are going to use, that you can call as hybrid, public and private. Some infrastructure will be managed by us, some part of infrastructure will be managed by Oracle or by our team only or by Oracle. So that you can call it as hybrid. Okay. So public, private, most of the clients are using the public only, very less clients. The private, hybrid, very rare option. And you could see the difference between on-premise and cloud. If you look at on-premise applications, so these are the points you have to consider. CapEx upfront investment. When you go with this Oracle implementation, if you are going to use on-premise, you have to invest a lot for server infrastructure. But in case of cloud application, the benefit is rent a flexible service, pay as you grow. You don't need to buy any server infrastructure. Just you have to take the subscription rent base, and as you grow our applications or users, you can increase that subscription capabilities. You can subscribe for 10 more users, or you can subscribe one more application. Accordingly, just everything will go on rent base. But in case of on-premise, you have to invest a lot. So in case of on-premise, the disadvantage is customer-owned upgrades and patching. If it is on-premise, everything should be taken care by client team only. But if it is cloud applications, no upgrades but latest functionality via regular releases. Whenever Oracle will comes with a new release, automatically your environment will be upgraded. But in case of on-premise, you have to take the decision when you want to upgrade. Even if you take the decision, you have to follow the standard process of what you have to do to upgrade to latest version. But here, automatically Oracle will take care of everything. If it is on-premise, you have to depend on the data centers. Okay, data centers and the hardware cost, including disaster recovery. Okay, but here for our instance, in Fusion instance we call as a pod, P-O-D pod. We have iPod, right? In the same way, instance we call as a pod, P-O-D pod. The entire instance as a pod, the disaster recovery and everything taken care by Oracle. That is a responsibility of Oracle. If you are using the cloud subscription from Oracle, you don't need to worry about it. And here costly customizations. Okay, customizations creates and maintains. It would be to create the customizations and maintenance will become little costly in case of on-premise. In case of cloud, Oracle will provide very friendly environment. In case of PaaS, already we discussed. In case of SaaS, you cannot do customizations. Report customizations you can do, but not the functional related customizations. It could be report customizations or functional related customizations. The environment is very simple. So everything simply you can develop there, you can provide within that. So in case of EBS, some different tools will be using and deployment, and it is a totally different process. But in case of EBS, any sort of customizations or any kind of integrations and all, mostly it's a drag and drop. In many cases, zero coding. With the zero coding, you'll be able to do some many integrations, and even customizations also they made very simple to do and to deploy. So that's the point they are mentioning here. It's very costly. It's here very simple. Okay. And annual support cost, etc. You have to go with all these points, and it's a little bit costly and challenging. In case of cloud applications, it's very easy, and they have to spend less cost, and everything Oracle will take care of. You can understand if you have your own DBA, or if Oracle is going to take care of that part, how it's simple. Okay. So that's how this is a few points to understand the differences. And I mentioned few new things which you have to understand by comparing with the EBS. So in EBS, if you want to have access to any application related functionality, we use the responsibility concept, where responsibility consists of menus. But here, user access always depends on what roles are associated to users. That means in Fusion role-based access, we don't have a responsibility concept and menu concept. It's equal to that, we have a roles concept. Based on the roles, users can have access to anything. And when I talk about reporting, in Fusion applications, we have Hyperion reporting, which is replaced with FSG. In EBS, in GL EBS, we have FSG functionality, but in the Fusion, we don't have any FSG functionality in GL. They introduced Hyperion reporting. Okay, Hyperion reporting they introduced as a part of GL. So it's a very powerful tool to create the reports in very easiest way, just drag and drop, dimension based. We'll discuss when you're working on it. And apart from that, in all the applications, you have BA and OTBA reports, business intelligence, BA reports, and OTBA reports we have for all the applications. As a standard functionality, they given BA reports and OTBA reports. In GL, they given Hyperion reporting. And FBDA, file-based data import, you know how to do the data conversions in EBS when it comes to Fusion. By using this FBDA templates without any technical consultant support, being a functional consultant, we can execute all the data conversions. Those could be master data or transactional data. You no need to write a single piece of code also. So by using the FPDA templates or FPDA process, you'll be able to handle everything. And accounting, so accounting, it's in finance point of view, there is no big difference. The SLA part they given as SLA, there is slight difference. Naming convention will go through that, but mostly, so majorly in SCM side, in the purchasing and in the inventory side, they given cost accounting, receipt accounting, and PO tab. Okay, so when you work on the relevant process, when you work on the P2P, you will be doing the PO tab, and cost accounting, receipt accounting, ideally not required. Without that also, you will be able to perform the transaction, since those are core SCM. We don't touch those, but I'll be addressing for our information. And we have a BPM, which is in EBS we have AME, approval management engine. Similar to that, we have a BPM, business process management. Any approvals you can manage through BPM. It's a very friendly kind of friendly application where you got a lot of flexibility to create the rules with the different dimensions. We'll see, we'll be working, we'll be implementing invoice approvals, journal approvals, requisition approvals, PO approvals. So at that time we'll go through how the notes we have, how you can enable, disable, how to you can create the rules, how it's a friendly application, we'll understand. And security console in EBS, yeah, please.
We do have reporting and accounting in EBS also, right?
We have reporting. Do you have Hyperion reporting?
One of the consultant in my team works on Hyperion, but I don't know.
Answer is no. In EBS client, they can take the license for Hyperion, they can use it, but you don't have inbuilt. That is a separate product. But in the Fusion, you have inbuilt. That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
Okay, so if you take subscription for Oracle, you're getting Hyperion reporting also as part of it.
Yes, yes. If you take GL subscription, you will get Hyperion also. If you take any application, you will get BA also.
Okay.
Yeah. These you can use in EBS also, but additionally you have to take the license and you have to do that integration work and all, right? But here these all coming as an inbuilt. That's the reason just we are talking about what's new in the Fusion.
And what about accounting? What is the difference in accounting from EBS to?
When you talk about accounting, in Fusion you have to create some additional definitions like cost accounting and receipt accounting. For purchasing, you have to create the PO tab. It's nothing but SLA only. Those are mandatory. Without that, you cannot generate the accounting. So when you are working on P2P cycle, I will create those PO tab and all to generate the accounting. We'll see that. In case of EBS, you don't need to do all these things. But here, there is a small difference to generate the accounting entries for the respective areas. You have to go with that cost accounting, receipt accounting, PO tab, transaction accounting builder definition to generate the accounting entries. So that is the difference if you compare accounting part. I'll be covering that in PO purchasing. Will be creating that. And security console for administration purpose in EBS, user creation, responsibility creation, assigning the responsibility to the user, everything you can do from the system administrator responsibility. Similar to that, we have a security console. Okay, this is equal to that. So we'll go through how it is different. Now if you start discussing about that, there are new points which we cannot catch now. So just try to take that point. This is for administration point, users creations, the rules assignment for users, and custom rules creation. There are many we can manage. Once we get into that, you'll understand. And fusion architecture, it is different from EBS. They introduce the middleware. We'll discuss more detail level, just I mentioned as a point. And FSM, functional setup manager. This is a place to perform any application related configuration. In case of EBS, application wise, you can do the setups, AP setups you can do in the AP responsibility, AR setups in AR responsibility. So but in the fusion applications, no responsibility concept. If you want to do the setups for AP or AR or GL or any application configuration, you can do from FSM. There are many other advantages of FSM also. We'll discuss once we get into the classes. And implementation project, to manage all our configuration, we have to create the implementation project. If you create the implementation project, that will allow us to copy the setups from one instance to another instance. We'll discuss and we'll create implementation project. Okay, so social networking, it's you can enable social networking within the fusion applications, so that your team, say you are working for payables, you got 20 members team for payables department, so you can enable the social networking within that fusion applications only. The plugin, the inbuilt plugin they given, so you'll be in the Facebook, how you will be passing the messages to friends or specific group. In the same way, your application, your work related communication you can establish. That's how you can collaborate with your co-workers. You can just within the application itself, within the application, say for example, you are going to close the periods, and you can just communicate with the entire your team, saying that yes, we are going to close the periods today. Or else you have some issue with one supplier, and you can communicate with other team members who are working for payables department, or any sort of information within our fusion applications only. You can share by using the social networking option, which is available as inbuilt. And again, we have a dashboards also for each and every application. Based on the user access, the dashboards will be enabled. If you have a dashboards, what happens is you no need to go and search for the information. You don't need to run the reports to get to know certain information, what action you have to take or what you performed, who has to take the action as the next participants. These are all information you automatically system would populate in the dashboard. It would be easy for us. We can save the time. So whenever you navigate to the dashboard, the information. So say for example, you imported data into GL. Within the dashboard, it shows the data which is coming from payables to GL. These many records are stuck in the interface. There itself it will show. You don't need to take some navigation. Or else you submitted something for approval. Journals you submitted for approval. So when you submit for approval, how many journals are pending from others action, others response, those you can see. Or else somebody submitted the notification, you can see in the dashboard. And there are a lot many details you can see in the dashboard. Once we access the application, you can see. And the RI stands for rapid implementation. With the RI rapid implementation approach, you can do the setups automatically in the fusion application. RI means it's a rapid implementation spreadsheet. Within the spreadsheet, you can provide the data, then automatically system would create the calendars, your chart of accounts, primary ledger, legal entities, business units. So any setups you can create within the instance with the help of rapid implementation sheets. Instead of going to the instance and taking the navigation, entering the data, clicking on next and going to some tab and saving the data, instead of doing this multiple actions, simply you can provide the data in the formatted sheets. Okay, there will be certain format based on which definition you want to create within the instance. Then you will be able to create the setups automatically within the instance. It is all what we are discussing here, everything will go through. And user part also, here the users are classified as implementation users and employee users, and why they classified and what is the difference we'll discuss. And the enterprise structure in EBS we have a concept called as multi-org. The same multi-org concept in Fusion we call as enterprise structure. How it is different when you compare with multi-org and how it is similar, those points we'll discuss. Okay, so these are the few points I mentioned, and there are many concepts new in the Fusion application. They did enhancements. Once we start going through the classes, you can understand all those points.
Here, what is the main difference between this FSM and implementation project?
So with FSM is the environment which will allow us to do the setups, and if you want to do those setups as a project, you can create implementation project within the FSM. Implementation project is part of FSM. Let's not try to understand the details of these points now, because this is not the time. Just I want to introduce the names only. We'll be discussing everything more detail level, and we'll be working on everything.
Okay.
Yeah, fine.
And Lakshman, will you be sharing this PPT with us?
Only this PPT I won't be sharing. Okay, this is only for my class presentation. So you will be getting that recorded video. In that video, what are the slides now you see? Everything will be captured, and you'll be able to access those.
Okay.
Yeah, the content you can see in the video. Done. Fine. Done. Now we'll just go through the course curriculum. So what are the applications we are going to cover, and we'll see here. So these are the primary applications which you are going to cover. These are the 5 are primary. Okay, Oracle Fusion, General Ledger, accounts payables, account receivables, cash management, fixed assets. So these applications will do all the configurations, and we'll discuss the concepts, and we'll be executing the scenarios. When it comes to Fusion and Fusion expense and Fusion tax, yes, we'll do the basic configuration and we'll run through the basic flows. The same way, this purchasing, product management, nothing but inventory related application here, and order management will be doing the configuration, and will be testing the P2P and O2C cycles. Okay, and the other points also you can consider. The other points you can consider, the FSM, BPM, all these will be working on. When we are working on these modules, definitely we have to touch this BPM, FSM, and as we discussed, we'll be covering all these conversions also. So transaction and all reporting, as we mentioned, Hyperion reporting we call as FRS, Financial Reporting Studio, and as a part of Hyperion we have Smart View also. With that, for all the applications, this Smart View and Hyperion Financial Reporting Studio, these two are Hyperion related features which are available only GL. They replaced FSG. In EBS we have FSG, right? So in that place they given this Hyperion related reporting. This BI reporting and ODBI reporting is applicable for all the applications. Okay, and as already we mentioned, it's a fresh environment based training. That means when we are working for your client, if you get access to fresh instance or say new instance, so from where to start? From the scratch you have to start. What points you have to understand? So all that approach will be following. So we are not going to use any existing setups. Everything will be doing from the scratch, and throughout this training, wherever it's applicable, we'll compare with EBS and we'll be discussing what we are going to do in the Fusion applications. And these are the different additional functions also we are going to cover. That's all. So, and when you look at the modules here, GL, these are the basic configuration we'll be covering, which is very much basic, and these are the different concepts we are going to cover. So secured rules, cross validation rules, revalidation, translation, consolidations, data access set, there are different concepts, including the reporting. When it comes to payables, these are the configurations we'll be doing to support the processes. And these are the concepts we are going to cover, almost all what we have. Different type of invoices, payments, the withholding tax, bills, pay loan, foreign currency, interest invoice, recurring, cross currency payments. In Fusion payables, you can do the cross currency payments also. In EBS, we don't have that feature. And invoice approvals, security profile, it's nothing but MOAC, and holds, supplier refund process, and how to the custom roles creation, and the supplier conversion process, open invoices conversions, and we have it different here. You can go through it. We'll be sharing the same course content with everyone. And payables to general ledger reconciliation, BA reports, OTBA reports, and receivables related configuration, and all these receivables related concepts, including the conversions, and cash management related configuration concepts, bank reconciliations, and the bank statement creations, etc. Fixed assets configuration, and these are the concepts from fixed assets. Fusion expense, EBS I expense we call as a fusion expense in Fusion. Okay, these are the concept. And one more point, we don't have any in EBS. Within the tables you can create expense reports, but Fusion you cannot create any expense reports as a part of AP. Only the option is you have to use Fusion expense application. The same way Fusion tax, will do the setups by following the R2R, resume to rate flow, and we'll be testing the tax applicability. And P2P, procure to pay cycle, the required configuration, all these, and we'll be testing. So requisition creation approvals, PO creation approvals, receipt creation, perform the delivery, checking on and quantity, invoice creation, payables through matching. We'll be matching with the invoice, receipt, and we'll cover pay and receipt concept, nothing but self-billing, and we'll be testing purchase returns also. Okay, we'll do all this as a part of P2P cycle. And O2C, mostly OM configuration and a few other modules configuration also will do, which are required. And O2C process, sales order to auto invoice creation, and in the FSM level what setups will do, all those will be covering. So everything, whatever we are going to cover in our classes, will be doing from the scratch only. So in the fresh instance, as a consultant, when you do the setups to implement solution for the client, what setups we have to do, what points we have to consider, everything we are going to see in our classes. So any questions from anyone, please?
So Lakshman, I have a question here. So when you say order management, so
sorry,
you will give us some demo integrating with another. Would you be giving us a demo with the integration with third party, like a code or order entry system?
So that should be done by technical people. We never do integration even in EBS also, being a functional consultant. That is the role of technical consultant.
But don't we have to give them give some kind of input on the global mapping?
Yes. Once technical people complete that integration, you can show them how the data can be imported or exported. That could be inflow or outflow.
Okay. And on the tax, does it include the EB tax also?
Yeah, EB tax only we call as fusion tax. The name they changed to fusion tax. That same I mentioned in the course curriculum.
Okay, one final question on the security console, or does this course contain or includes OEM, OEM?
Yes, IDM application. Against IDM it is built. IDM and APM. In the older versions, Oracle is giving the direct access to that IDM and APM applications. Later they set a restriction. Against that they build a security console. Through security console you can do the task which you can do directly in the IDM.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Any other questions from anyone, please?
Hey, Lakshman, this is Ashish.
Yeah.
Hey, this is regarding the same payments not getting created, payment files getting created.
Ashish, I'll see that. I have a solution for that. Okay.
Okay. So, are you? I mean,
let me finish these discussions. I'll explain you that how to fix that issue. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Any questions, please?
Well, LAXMAN,
Yeah.
you mentioned that there will be a technical training batch starting in 2 weeks, right?
Correct.
So, will visual build be part of the training?
What is that?
Visual build tool.
Visual build, yes, I think we have. I'm not very sure. I didn't go through that curriculum and all. I will be sharing that curriculum. You can keep in touch with our team. They'll share the course content.
Okay, with whom should I get in touch
There are
regarding the
tools,
training?
There are multiple tools, what I noticed, but I'm not very sure. That should be that's a. I guess that is also there. But I don't remember exactly. So we'll share the course.
So whom
can go through it.
Okay, whom should I be contacting for that?
Now you are in touch with whom for this meeting link and all?
Saida.
Yeah, you can talk to him. You can provide that.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, fine. Thanks. Fine. Any other questions?
Lakshman, Suresh here.
Yeah, Suresh.
You see, now, when Oracle upgrading to 11.5.10 to R12, there is a standard upgrade. So Oracle itself, they'll give the patch, they will apply for it, will move to new version.
Correct.
So now when you upgrade, we are into Oracle R12, 12.2 or 12.13, if you are going to upgrade to Fusion, is there any standard tool is available for migrating to cloud, or just it's completely re-implementation?
Re-implementation only. There is no solution as of now from EBS to EBS any version to cloud. Within the cloud, world up to latest, yes, that is a basic thing that is possible, but that should be re-implementational as of now.
The thing is, why I'm asking is, you see, if your customer going for re-implementation,
no, I'll tell you
like if you are going to Oracle or SAP, it's very expensive, right?
1 second, I'll tell you simple reason. So your client is using EBS HRMS and EBS CRM and EBS Finance. But if they want to upgrade to Fusion, do you think same you have in Fusion? No, right? Finance, okay.
That's no, yeah.
HCM, we have HCM, that is PeopleSoft product. How you can migrate, upgrade from EBS HRM to PeopleSoft HCM? How you can upgrade EBS CRM solution to Siebel CRM? These are the challenges.
Yeah, I understood, but at the end of the day, it's everything Oracle product. Either EBS or now Siebel or PeopleSoft, everything's Oracle product.
Correct.
In order to pertain all the customers, you see, now everything is a cost effective, right? It's the customer perspective.
I got your point. In future, Oracle may come up. How? Selecting the EBS and selecting the Fusion upgradation, in between they may build some mechanism to do the mapping based on the selected products. So the EBS, HCM, HRMS, if they want to upgrade with the PeopleSoft HCM, in between how those data need to be synced and the definitions need to be done, or else the intermediate step where consultants should involve and they should do some modifications or definitions, that sort of option they may come up in the future, but as of now that is not there. Yeah, let's hope they'll come up with a solution soon. Fine. Any other questions from anyone, please?